Greetings and welcome to FactionMasters Season 7, Game 26. Here we have in this semifinal match the Eternal Council, played by GuildMaster, against the Tundra Orcs, played by Nesle. And I am once again joined by Nesle. Thank you for coming on.
I'm happy to be here to commentate again.
Now, first thing I actually want to ask you is, have you watched any of the other GuildMaster Eternal Council games this tournament? Did you watch any of them before you began this match?
Yep, I have.
Okay.
I've actually also played GuildMaster a bunch, but I don't think I faced their I faced their cloaks a bunch and some other factions, but I don't think I've faced a lot of the Eternal Council, so I wasn't too sure what to expect, but I did watch some of their games.
Yeah.
So I knew somewhat what to expect, but not exactly what to expect, because I haven't played this matchup against them before.
Yeah, something that I noticed, and we did want to have GuildMaster on as a commentator, but he said that his English is not so great, so maybe in the future. I will say one thing I noticed about GuildMaster's play is that when he gets an opportunity to set up some nice combos with Idia, he just goes for it, just charges in, and I think sometimes takes his opponents by surprise. So I'm sure if that was something that you were on your guard against, or at least thinking about here.
That's the main thing that you got to worry about against Eternal Council. If they get some big play with area, they can really easily destroy like a big champion or your summoner if you're not careful. So you should always be on the lookout for that. Something that I've noticed in this game is that they were able to get a lot of boosts on Idia without really exposing her too much, which certainly didn't help. It was great play by them to be able to do so. Learn helped for sure, but they were also just able to attack whenever they got the opportunity to, with shoving around and hiding Idia, which just made it hard for me to actually get some damage on her, so I had to be on my tippy toes the whole game.
Okay. Do you think this is a good game to have Targon in your opening hand, so you can do some long-range shooting back and forth?
I think this is actually a good matchup for Targon, but not in the opening hand. Targon has to be late in the deck in order to be a good champion on an average matchup. There are some matchups where she's good enough that you are actually going to try to get her, even if it's in an inopportune time. But this is not one of them. I think I need to apply at least some pressure early on, and going out for Targon quickly, I'm probably going to lose too much on the tempo. So, and looking at my starting hand, it's really wonky in general, I think. I have 4 glory, but 0 commons. I have 2 gates, so I'm not sure where to place them. I know the standard orcs where I usually want to place at least 1 gate if I get it early, but I was worried this is already 2 gates in my starting hand. I don't know if I'm going to draw some other one soon if they manage to destroy the first one I placed, so I think I need to place them both, so I'm not going to have a lot of magic to summon Targon, so she's certainly a discard now, unfortunately.
Okay, well, let's get started here. It's Eternal Council going first. And using the Mind Knight to push that fighter over to Idia, who can get the boost, and then, as you mentioned, getting the boost and then pushing Idia to safety. I think we'll see Katu go under here, but didn't use either learn, just saving them in hand. No magic built on the first turn.
I think I was thinking about this game. If they can steal for glory, all of a sudden I am quite scared as well. Stealing for glory would actually make it really hard for me to deal with them.
Even stealing brutal force could be could make things tricky. So
That being said, I'm not really worried about them stealing Freeze, obviously, but I'm
Yeah.
also not too worried about them stealing Primal Fury, because thankfully for me, the creators of this game thought of this and said that Primal Fury needs to attack an adjacent card, so
Yeah.
Edia wouldn't be getting too much value out of it.
And I think some of that is also with the deck building considerations, knowing that Sneaks could be having this card, or trying to think,
Balzar would have this card. That's the main
somebody
issue.
ranged the Balzar, yeah, could have it. So, but you can
It's a
do it if you get Edia right up next to him.
Yep, but
The combos are limitless.
Edia getting close to Tundra it sounds like a death wish, so I
Well, it's
wasn't too worried about that.
maybe certain unusual late game scenarios.
Yep, and here I was thinking a bunch about where to place this gate.
Yeah.
Really good roll there, by the way.
Yeah.
I with that starting hand, I really needed something to go my way, so I'm really happy about that. I knew that I wanted a gate on B4
Yeah.
because that's just, in my opinion, the optimal gate to place if you're just trying to apply pressure at Standard Orcs. Like anything more forward, it's too easy to destroy. Anything more back, it's too passive. Especially with an opponent that starts on a gate on their second row. Just this is, while they can get to it, it's going to spend some. They're going to have to spend some resources in order to do that, and especially against Eternal Council. Eternal Council don't have units command with more than 4 health. All of them get one shot by smashers potentially. So if they just shove something in front of my gate in order to block it, I'm not going to have a hard time destroying whatever it is. And my main thinking was about the second gate. I discarded Target, so having a backward gate feels bad, but I also even just shamans are quite underrated in the Thunder Orcs. Make the Thunder Orcs ranged game quite underrated. They're one of the best commons in the game in general, and they certainly help you just play in the back even as Thunder Orcs, which people, they usually don't associate them as a ranged faction, but it can work, so I decided to place another backward gate, just in case this forward one gets destroyed, I'm still going to have some play, even though I'm behind. There was also thinking about placing it on A3 maybe, but it felt too awkward. It shares 2 gate spots with the gate in forward. They would just try not to destroy the gate in forward at that point, I think, just to clog me up. So I decided to go with A2, even though it's kind of weird.
Yeah, and you certainly don't want the gates clogging your hand either, just waiting for the perfect place to put them. Sometimes you need to just find what's the best place now and keep moving. Got a nice hand with for glory now, so
Potentially. I don't want to for glory with smashers, but those 2 fighters could be good.
oh, okay. Let's continue.
For glory smashers is like a very weird game of like risk and reward, and the risk is way higher than the reward unless you're attacking a 5 health common, I think.
We're a champion, or a summoner.
Or a summoner, of course. If you're winning the game, it's also good.
Yeah. So he's blocking your fronts here with the 2 Mind Knights, using the first learn. Probably just pick up some boost for that.
Yeah, and here I decide I'm okay with discarding 1 card just to try and kill both of the knights.
Well, you get Grognak to help in case you didn't get it naturally. It looks like you just rolled 8 hits without rerolls necessary. Yeah.
If I got Grognak to help, I would have needed to discard 2 more cards, I think, so I didn't. Just not moving at all.
You're just gonna stand and roll. There's the reroll.
Yep.
Not quite enough. Yeah.
It was bound to happen at least 1 point. And now I finally got a pretty decent hand for glory. Charges are better than fighters for when you're playing for glory.
Yeah. We're seeing the
And
first insight here for Edea. Should be enough to finish off that wall. Or that gate, I should call it.
mhm. I didn't expect that gate to live for too long if he had a
Yeah.
combo like that. Here it's unfortunate that I didn't draw a shaman just to be able to shoot that sage from afar.
Hmm.
I didn't feel like exposing a charger to do it, especially since I have For Glory in hand. So I just decided to take this turn a bit slower and just kill this scholar and stay back.
Okay. It seems that with insight, the choice is either just sort of back off and wait for Edea to use up all the boost, or charge in and try to finish her off quickly. She seems pretty well protected here, though.
Yeah, I think that's the main idea. If they use one of their big combo pieces, you just want to wait out until they can't persist them anymore, or just force them to instantly discard them because they don't have anything good to do in their first turn.
Mm-hmm. Oh, I think something got a little messed up with the pause here. Just advance to turn 9. Keeping plenty of magic there. Just ready for other possibilities, I guess.
Yep, not many things to really do with
It's
this magic
interesting
still.
that he chose not to persist that insight, just decided to let it expire and focus on building up more boost.
Yeah, he still has a second one in the deck, so I think that was the correct choice.
Still holding on to one of these learns just in case. So Ragnar seems pretty safe in terms of not getting one shot by a combo.
Yep. And here I unfortunately had to use the charges. I wanted to keep them for Gloria, but I feel like this was a good enough turn to justify using them now. And here I drew a second for Glory. So unfortunately I'm probably gonna have to get rid of one.
Yeah, I noticed you got rid of one of your Furies with the Mind Knight penalty.
Mm-hmm. Here I'm just still waiting for him to approach.
It seems like we're just neither side wants to really make any big commitment. Even a very defensive gate placed there by Guildmaster.
And it's a point in the game where I do wish I actually had target.
Yeah, this is when you want her out there.
But still, I have a lot of shamans left in the deck, so this isn't lost by any means by any stretch of the imagination.
Psychic Assault. I didn't expect that. Looks like Edea's gonna try to help the Scholar finish off the Smasher. It seems like he's poised to go in here and
Yep.
using the
even
next learn, just getting lots of boost. Interesting here that a bit unusual for Eternal Council. He's actually slower to go through his deck than you are. Normally you see players race through that a lot faster.
Yeah, my main game plan was to try to make sure he runs through his deck so that once he's out of cards, I don't have to worry about insights and psychic assaults, and then at that point I can start approaching with Grognak and Ragnar. But instead, the way I played, I think, forced him to just go through his deck a lot slower, just to be able to use his cards once a good time hit and not right now.
Okay.
Now here, I had a chance to attack Edia with my shaman with For Glory. I could also have just... I'm not actually 1000% sure what I did this turn, but I know I didn't use For Glory. I could have hit her with a For Glory shaman, but I feel like at this point I need to use my For Glory a lot better So now at this point, the game is gonna be a lot more about patience to see how long I can wait before I use that for glory.
Yeah, it's your only one left. I believe you
Yeah, I had to pitch the other
had to
one.
throw one out for the, yeah, my knight. Let's see here.
So I make this very passive play.
Yeah, really just waiting for him to come to you, and he's not committing a lot to the board either.
Hmm. I even go out of my way here to not give him any good targets by destroying my own gate. And now at this point, I feel like I did force him to actually commit a bit, because he can't go far enough back in order to keep Edia fully safe. So this is about as good of a time as any that I'll get to use my For Glory, so I go for it.
Okay. Yeah. Hopefully the charger will kill itself, and
Yeah,
then the shaman can attack through.
honestly, if the charger didn't kill itself, I would have used the second one to attack it, but thankfully it
That's very
did.
smart. I didn't think of that, but the timing makes a big difference.
Indeed, and it's not... Me not being forced to do that makes me able to destroy that god, that advisor as well. And here I decided not to reroll that 3 damage because I was super worried that I would do 0, which would be
Yeah.
way worse.
Yeah.
But the shaman dying is actually not good for me. I usually you are okay with your commons dying as Tundra Orcs when they're so low on health, but here the game is getting to such an end game that like a ranged unit just dying is really bad for me.
Yeah, you've only got just the 2 shamans left for range. And
Yep.
only the brutal force for events, so it's going to be mostly just
And no,
positioning from here on out.
yeah, I also don't have another gate to like be able to approach with my melee units, so this is going to be tough in order to get him.
Okay, on the other hand, GuildMaster has to watch out for Edia down to 6 health. The other insight is still buried. He's not done a lot of bottom decking this game. Well, actually, maybe he bottom decked it earlier and I missed it. Well, we'll proceed here and see.
Here he is basically hoping I don't have another For Glory, because
Yeah.
I would be able to actually
Would really
hit
have
Edia with
to.
another charger. Actually, I wouldn't be able to hit with another charger. I played all my chargers, but still. But maybe this was a mistake, honestly, approaching this much. Because at this point, any unit is in range of Psychic Assault.
Yeah.
I was hoping at least some of them would survive, but I also knew I couldn't stay at range.
Yeah, you have to go in at some point.
Yeah, so unfortunately didn't get a move to move Grognak either that turn, so I'm kind of just sitting back. If all of my units die, I will need to have a very slow next turn. But I am winning a lot on Summoner's
Yes.
Health. That's like my main advantage that I have at this point.
But
And
if you,
he's out of cards.
yeah,
but
he's out of cards. But if you lose all your units, which looks likely here, you just got the 1 fighter left, and then it's going to be a while before you can afford to summon a Smasher. Maybe you'll just get enough rolls for Frenzy that you just back and forth and win the game on this turn. Oh, okay, maybe not this time.
I wish. And now there's a Katu. It's not looking too good for me. But again, there's still a 14 health Grognak on the field. It can't be that bad, right?
Yeah, I think it's going to come down to the dice and playing it out here. You've got Edia with 8 attack waiting in the wings, though.
Unfortunately, I had to get rid of Shonk, but I wasn't getting magic for him.
Right.
So I just decided I would commit to this Smasher and hope for the best.
Okay, well, there's
This advisor,
no more cards to
yeah,
draw. Yeah.
this advisor doesn't have an ability because they also don't have a card in hand.
Right. And with both of your units with 4 attack, he can't afford Idia to be within any range of anything.
Yeah, and around this point is when I realized this game is probably gonna come down to seeing if I can hit a 4 out of 4 melee or not. And
Yeah,
you
for
see,
sure.
he could have ran back a bit here, but his odds were actually not in his favor if he does that. So he just decided to go on and attack me with Idia and hope for the best. And
Yeah.
oh,
I'm sorry, I tried to pause it, but the
yeah,
game already rolled it, so we could see that you got the 4 out of 4, you got the win. Congratulations.
yeah, barely. Thank you.
Well,
The
even if
Guildmaster
you hadn't, he would have had 13. You know, 8 out of 13 on range is not a gimme either. So I think you had another chance.
The thing they would have done is put Kato in front of Idia, attack me for 5 ranged, then I wouldn't be able to attack Idia, I would attack
right.
Kato. And then they would attack me with 6 range because Kato grows +8, which is odds are like 99%, not 99, something like
Okay, so
95% for him.
this was your only chance. Yeah.
Yes.
Well, congratulations on the win. You are through to the finals.
Yep.
So possibly the finals. We at the time of this recording, we have not yet seen the results of Game 25. So if Nestle also wins Game 25, a finals will not be necessary. But if you're watching this on YouTube in game order, you already know the answer because you have seen the future. At least from our perspective, it is the future. From your perspective, it is the past.
Yeah, so this was the finals for them, potentially.
Possibly, yes. We don't know yet. All right.
I also want to show off a bit and say that I haven't actually lost this matchup yet as Tundra Orcs versus Eternal Council.
Wow.
So I was being a bit cocky when I got into this game, but I knew that it wasn't going to be easy. Guildmaster is a very good player. And not that many players play Eternal Council in public queue for some reason. But, you know, apparently I do know how to play this matchup, or I just get lucky when I play it. One of the two.
Well, there was it's hard to add up all the cards and the dice and everything, but when it came down to it, you did get the roll you needed to win in the end. So I guess we can call that a little bit of luck.
I would call it luck.
There's an old saying that it's better to be lucky than good, but I like to say it's best to be both.
Well, hopefully I am good as well. Hopefully it's not 100% luck.
Yeah, to get this far, it's definitely both. It's not just luck. Yeah. Well, we appreciate having you on, and we will possibly see you again in the finals.
Yeah, you'll see me again for one more game at least.
Yes, or possibly will have already seen, depending on what order our viewers are watching this video in.
Yes.
All right. Thanks to our viewers for watching, and we will see you next time for more Faction Masters.